This is Charlie Kao with Travel Mall at the Indaba Travel Exhibition in Durban, South Africa. And I'm with Jabu Ntuli, who is with the KwaZulu-Natal Wildlife group that looks after the national park system. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Okay. Let's start with the geography, if we might, of pointing out on the map where KwaZulu-Natal is, and then where your province is. So here is a map of South Africa, and we could see the red spot. Let me put in perspective. Here it is.
Yes.
And here is your province of KwaZulu-Natal.
That's correct. Yes, Charlie. KwaZulu-Natal is one of the 9 provinces of South Africa, as you've pointed out on the map. And our park, we are a provincial conservation authority for the province of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. And our parks and reserves are scattered around the entire province, from south, west, east, and west of the province. As you could see from the map here, we scattered all over, and it's split into 3 sections. There is the beach section, there is the nature section, which is the Drakensberg side, and then there's also your safari, which is your wildlife side. That's how it's structured.
And that's very diverse experiences, terrain. Could you speak a little bit about each one, please?
Very much diverse. If you look into the beach resort area, it's more your water in terms of your beach activities, your fishing, your surfing, your snorkeling activities. You've got a lot of people who come there just for beach, even weddings. You go there if you like the beach, the boats and the boat cruise and things like that. That's what you get from the beach side. But if you're more into nature, I will then refer you to the Drakensberg side, which is more of tranquility. There's a lot of hiking. There's a lot of bird watching as well, even though it's in the back. If you're more into, we also do a lot of weddings, if you like that nature side of things. There's a lot of hiking and trails, that walking trails that you can actually do. And then if you're more into your wildlife safari experience, then I will refer you to the east side of our reserves, where you can see your big 5.
Let's go back to the map.
If you go back to the map, this would be more the area in terms of the wildlife.
Okay, point out Durban first, please.
Okay, if we to point out Durban will be right here.
Okay.
If you're flying from UK, obviously, if you're flying Emirates or from Joburg, you fly into Durban. Then from Durban to any of our resorts going up the east side, it will take you about 3-hour drive. To get to St. Lucia, it will be about 2 to 3 hour drive, where you can see a lot of water and do a lot of water activities. And then your Isimangaliso Wetlands Park, which is a World Heritage Site. A lot to see there, quite exciting. And then if you are into the game, then I would say come straight to Kukua and do your Big 5 game drive.
What consists of the Big 5?
Well, your Big 5 will be your rhino, your elephant, your
tiger.
No, not the tiger.
Not the tiger.
Yes, it doesn't form part of the Big 5. And then it will be your. If we look from here, it will be
giraffe.
Yes, your rhino, your elephant. Your, can we see from here? Because it's always nice when you point it out.
This guy?
No, they don't form part of the Big 5. Is it not on here?
That's okay. We got 4 out of the 5.
Yes, because it's quite nice when you look at it from the picture as well, so that you can relate to the Big 5.
So that's in the
Shushuwe area.
In the northwest
of KwaZulu-Natal.
Okay.
It's in the east side of KwaZulu-Natal.
Gotcha.
So this is where you are. In the
Northeast,
Kikuwe, Ukuze, your Pinda, this whole area, the green area, that's where all your safari experience in terms of the game drive.
Okay. Wow. The responsibility of your group then is to manage all these areas?
That's correct. Our mandate and our responsibility as a conservation authority for KwaZulu-Natal is to manage and oversee the protected areas of conservation within KwaZulu-Natal province. That's from nurturing it, looking after the animals. That is from education. That is from scientific research.
So training of the park
Everything that
staff, the concessions as well?
Absolutely. Within our parks, we do also have concessionaires as well.
So you look after that.
We also look after that.
And so if people want to open a lodge within one of the park areas or be a safari company, they must apply, meet your standards, and receive a license from your department.
That's correct. It's in two forms. Where our park are, there's a community that resides around our parks. And one of our responsibilities is to look after the community around the area. Some of them is land claimants. What we do as an organization, our responsibility is to educate them. And within our reserves, we also have those concessionaires that are owned by the community around the park. We look after the conservation, we promote and market their concessionaires, but the proceeds and the revenue that is generated out of those concessionaires goes directly to the community. Every single cent of it. That is how we give it back to the community that is surrounding the parks. The other part of it is concessionaires from the private sector that comes to us with proposals, and then they inject capital investment and we provide them with the land, they build it, and through a partnership, and then they promote it. We also promote it jointly with them, but the proceeds and the revenue goes towards them, and then obviously we share on profits.
I've learned this morning from a couple of companies that they're in your province that there is the government of South Africa has had initiated a program not too few years ago to help African black people to start their lodges, safari companies, and with financial support and including marketing, such as coming here to Ndaba. Is that initiative, does that carry into the park system?
Certainly it does. Since we are part of government, we work very closely with our sister entities like Tourism KwaZulu-Natal. They have a program where they train all, we call them SMMEs, small medium enterprise. They have a department that develops them in terms of training into various sectors. And once they've been trained, say for example, it's SMME tour operators coming from a previously disadvantaged background. Once they've been trained and developed into tour operators, then my mandate under Ezemvelo is to ensure that we introduce them into the mainstream conservation business in terms of giving them a platform to be able to operate, giving them prices and packages that can allow them to enter into the mainstream business with commission and incentives, providing platform for them to be able to access the markets and be able to be competitive within the competitive environment.
Because these gentlemen were telling me right now about 10% of the tourism sector are black owned, so that there's a lot of room there for expansion.
there's so much room for the SMMEs. I mean, as I said earlier, even in terms of our incentive structures, we make it very conducive for them to be able to enter into the market. It's not an easy market, it's very competitive, but we do offer them packages that are very competitive for them to be able to come in and also trade in that space.
Real quickly, a little bit about the people that live, the communities
Around the area.
Okay. They must be very diverse, number one. Are they homogeneous, or are they all come from all sorts of different backgrounds and have their own cultural heritage?
Well, very much homogeneous, I'll say. Zulu speaking, they originally from there. They grew up from there, and what we do for them, we do a lot of we call it CSI projects, even in terms of our employment, and we employ a lot of local people from the area to be our tour guides. Even within our resort, we train them so that we give back to the community. They're very strong in terms of a Zulu heritage and cultural background, which is quite good for our tourists that comes in, because at least they get to learn about how the people live and about the Zulu culture, which links back to Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu was one of the strong Zulu kings that lived way back then, and they have that very strong Zulu culture, which is quite good, and that is a very strong culture within the entire province of KwaZulu-Natal.
I was just caught the tail end of Evelyn Mahala's media session about trying to get the media to help get the word out that people in South Africa are friendly. As I said, I caught the tail end, and I said to myself, wow, my experience, limited as it is, but is that South African people are one of the friendliest, nicest people in the world. Okay? Maybe the Thailand people, beat you in terms of friendliness and people, but it's there. So I'm just kind of sharing with you. It's kind of funny that that's a challenge. You have to get the word out that people are friendly and nice.
South African people generally are very friendly. Especially particularly in KwaZulu-Natal province. I'll give you the reason why. It's a very diverse and mixed culture of the European culture, Indian culture, and the Zulu culture living together harmoniously. You see that coming through even in terms of our cuisines. You can get a European dish within KZN, you can get an Indian dish, you can also explore and get a Zulu cuisine. We live harmoniously. You go around in Durban, particularly where we are right now. If you go out, you'll find a mosque, which is a Muslim Indian church. You can also see a Zulu church. Adjacent to it, you'll also find a Christian church. And we live harmoniously, even in terms of our languages and our culture. I mean, we so mixed together. You find an Indian speaking India, and then a Zulu speaking Zulu, and an English person. But I mean, we tolerate each other. That's the beauty of South Africa, beauty of KZN in particularly, because of the diverse and mixed culture.
And the website for people to get more information is
www.kznwildlife.com.
And K like Kwa, Z for Zulu, and for Natal, wildlife.com.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Jabu, Ntuli.
Thank you, Charlie, for the opportunity to promote